Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 makes Pike's hair memes canon. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 honors countless memes about the hairstyle of Captain Christopher Pike, Anson Mount. Dubbed Pike's Peak, Anson Mount's hair in Strange New Worlds has become a Star Trek icon in its own right. And now, Captain Pike's iconic hairstyle gains a few inches in a brand new clip from SNW Season 3, which sees him turned into a Vulcan. You can watch the clip from Strange New Worlds Season 3 below. Screened during the Star Trek Universe panel at San Diego Comic-Con 2024, the clip teases a sequel to Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 5, Charades, while adding even more volume to Pike's Peak. In Charades, Spock was inadvertently turned human following a shuttle accident. In SNW Season 3, a human Enterprise away team including Pike and Nurse Chapel, Jess Bush, will become fully Vulcan. Where Charades made Leonard Nimoy's rubber Spock ears canon, the episode's sequel is turning its attention to Pike's Peak. Captain Pike's hair memes become canon in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 when Captain Pike is injected with an altered version of the Kirkhovian serum from Charades. He is transformed into a hyper-efficient Vulcan. The serum also gives him pointy ears, immaculately sculpted eyebrows, and an even taller Pike's Peak than ever before. This is a clear nod to the online culture around Captain Pike's hair in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, from the designated @CaptPikeShare Twitter account to multiple hilarious memes about Pike's Peak getting even taller. Even Captain Pike actor Anson Mount is on the joke at this point, retweeting this back in 2022. Fans of Captain Pike's peak hairstyle have also noticed that its height can often differ depending on the situation. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 is taking this to the extreme by making it the tallest it's ever been for Pike's deep-cover Vulcan away mission. This will no doubt delight the online community that surrounds Anson Mount's iconic hairstyle, who may even take it as a challenge to scale even further heights of Pike's Peak. Why Pike's Peak hairstyle is such a hit with Star Trek Strange New Worlds fans, Danny Epperson, the brains behind the @CaptPikeShare account on X, formerly Twitter, was interviewed by Heavyback in 2022 about the unique appeal of Pike's Peak. Discussing why he chose to give Pike's Peak its own social media account, Epperson said that he felt that Anson Mount's hairstyle was so striking that it felt like another member of the Strange New Worlds cast. Read Epperson's quote below. Captain Pike's hairstyle becoming its own Star Trek character also follows in the grand tradition of the iconic beard sported by Commander William T. Riker, Jonathan Frakes, in Star Trek The Next Generation, or the ever-changing hairstyles of Captain Kathryn Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, in Star Trek Voyager. By following the follicle footsteps of Riker and Janeway, Pike's Peak has a certain throwback charm that perfectly fits Star Trek Strange New Worlds. With Season 3 confirming that Pike's hair can grow even taller, the possibilities are truly endless for this iconic Star Trek hairstyle. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4 update. Showrunners are imaginatively invested in writing new episodes as Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 awaits its premiere on Paramount+. Writing is underway for Strange New Worlds Season 4. At San Diego Comic-Con, Paramount+ released a first-look clip from Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 of Captain Christopher Pike, Anson Mount, and the crew of the USS Enterprise turned into Vulcans, to the chagrin of LT Spock, Ethan Peck. Meanwhile, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is plotting out Season 4's episodes after the series got an early renewal from Paramount+ in April. At San Diego Comic-Con 2024, Screen Rant hosted Star Trek Strange New Worlds executive producers and co-showrunners Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers, as well as Ethan Peck and Rebecca Romijn, for an exclusive interview. When asked about the status of Strange New Worlds Season 4, Goldsman and Myers revealed that work in the writer's room is underway and when filming begins. Read Akiva and Henry's quotes and watch Screen Rant's video interview with Star Trek Strange New Worlds below. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 leans into what worked in Season 2. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3's first look clip released at Comic-Con shows that the series is leaning into what has worked in prior seasons, mixing episodic stories with serialized arcs for the USS Enterprise's characters. And also comedy, as evidenced by Captain Pike and his crew turned into Vulcans. Executive producer Akiva Goldsman explains Strange New Worlds' writing philosophy to Screen Rant. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3's Vulcan Farce is the third comedy episode in as many seasons involving Spock's pointy-eared people, and it's the second directed by Jordan Canning, who also helmed the Vulcan comedy of manners, Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 5, Charades. However, this Vulcan comedy clip is just one of multiple genres fans can look forward to in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, including a Hollywood murder mystery directed by Jonathan Frakes. Star Trek Picard actor says Romulan siblings' original plan was creepy and sexy Game of Thrones incest. Star Trek Picard Season 1 actor Peyton List reveals that her Romulan villain, Narissa, and her brother, Narek, Harry Treadaway, were supposed to have a Game of Thrones-like incestuous relationship like Jaime Lannister, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and Cersei Lannister, Lena Headey. Narissa was a member of Zhat Vash, a fanatical Romulan sect dedicated to wiping out synthetic life forms. Meanwhile, Narek's mission was to seduce and kill synthetic scientist Soji Asha, Issa Briones, after he learned the location of her homeworld, Capilius. Appearing as a guest on the Decon Chamber podcast, Peyton List discussed her role as a Romulan killer in Star Trek Picard Season 1 with hosts Dominic Keating and Connor Trenier. After List explained how many of her scenes as Narissa's alter ego, Starfleet LT Rizzo, were shot out of order, Peyton revealed the original Game of Thrones-inspired idea for Narissa and Narek. Read List's quote and watch the Decon Chamber video below. Peyton List, when I was auditioning, when I was cast, they were hinting at a sort of Game of Thrones brother and sister thing. And then we get to shooting, and they're like, oh, we don't really know if we're doing this. And Harry Treadaway and I were like, so, do we play it? Do we not play it? What do we do? They're like, somewhere in the middle. Because we might and we might not. What does that mean? What are we supposed to do? So we sort of were playing it in the beginning, and then they pulled way, way away from it. So now it kind of looks like, what is up with those actors? Dominic Keating, what were they frightened of with not playing it? Because I thought worked rather well. It was creepy and sexy at the same time. Peyton List. Creepy. Yeah. Creepy and sexy. Yeah, I think we were kind of like, well, let's just go for it a bit. Because it's something rather than nothing. What happened to Narek and Narissa in Star Trek Picard? Peyton List's rundown of her Star Trek Picard filming experience explains why Narissa and Narek's storyline felt muddled. Picard's producers didn't have a clear vision for the Romulan siblings and were adjusting their story on the fly, playing down what could have been an intriguing, if derivative, relationship between Narek and Narissa. Instead, Star Trek Picard Season 1 delved into the twisted and abusive seduction and obsession of Soji by Narek. Narissa's story ended violently, which is fitting after the atrocities she committed, like murdering Soji's twin sister Dodge, Issa Briones, as well as killing thousands of helpless Borg drones. Narissa fell to her death in the Borg Cube artifact after a brawl with 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan. Narek's story is more open-ended as he was taken into custody by United Federation of Planets officials on Capilius. With Star Trek Picard now over, it's unlikely Narek will return, and Star Trek Picard Season 1 is all audiences will know of Narek's relationship with Narissa. Narissa's story ended violently, which is fitting after the atrocities she committed, like murdering Soji's twin sister Dodge, Issa Briones, as well as killing thousands of helpless Borg drones. Narissa fell to her death in the Borg Cube artifact after a brawl with 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan. Narek's story is more open-ended as he was taken into custody by United Federation of Planets officials on Capilius. With Star Trek Picard now over, it's unlikely Narek will return, and Star Trek Picard Season 1 is all audiences will know of Narek's relationship with Narissa.